Squad vs. squad PvP in Escape from Tarkov can get extremely hectic, especially when you find yourself fighting in close quarters. In this video, I'm going to break down a fight I had just like that and talk about what to do and what not to do when you find yourself in that situation. I want to take a quick second and thank Outplayed for sponsoring this video. Outplayed is a free program that allows you to record, organize, edit, and share your best gameplay moments. You can manually record clips, record entire sessions, or in certain games, it actually can be automatically triggered by certain events like headshots or a kill. There are over 300 supported games. As you can see here, I just type in Escape from Tarkov, and then there we go. And then I can set up the quality of the recording and the keybinds on how I want to set it up for me. Once you have your highlights, you can edit them all right there in the app and then share them with all your friends. I say all the time that the best way to get better at Escape from Tarkov is to record your gameplay back and watch it, and that couldn't be any easier with Outplayed. So thank you again, Outplayed, for sponsoring this video. So the other day I was running some duos with Rengar. We were running Shoreline, and we ended up running into another squad at the resort and getting into a really interesting fight. Like we said, close quarters battles in places like the resort on Shoreline can get extremely hectic when it's squad v squad. There's so many footsteps, there's so much audio going on, there's a lot of communication that's required. You don't want to step in front of your own teammates, fire, but at the same time, you don't just want to hang back and let your teammate die. There's a lot to break down here. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of watch this fight back and then go back and talk about what we did right, what we did wrong, and what this other team did right and what they could have done better as well. So we'll just go ahead and watch the fight.
Hearing Woody's 205. There's two in there. He's holding it.
Okay.
One's hit really bad. Reload, cut the angle. You hold that for a second?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go across.
Yeah, he's hurt real bad.
Still one more. He's in the bathroom. Right in front of the box.
Whoa, there was two in there. Two more.
No shot, bro. So like we said, a really interesting fight. It ended up being me and Rengar versus a 3-man. So 5 total people. Only one person ended up walking away. I was the only survivor. And there was a lot to break down there. I think at a high level view, what me and Rengar did well was communicating between each other, sticking far enough apart so that we weren't both going to fall over dead at any moment. But obviously, Rengar ended up dying. That heal bait really got him and baited him into a push. That's one of the things that they did well, was kind of play to their numbers and the fact that it was really hard for us to know how many people there were. But once again, at a high level view, what the other team should have done, and as we'll talk about, is that there were a few instances where they could have gotten out of that really bad position of being stuck into that room that they probably should have taken. But we'll go ahead and start from the beginning. Right at the beginning of the fight, we basically hear Rengar say, They're in 205. There's two of them. So right off the rip, he's kind of got them into that position locked in because he can hold the doorway. He can hold the hallway right here. He calls out there's two because he can hear them, but he's kind of got them locked in right here. And then this is where you kind of see some of the communication between me and Rengar in a pretty good spot. I hold the angle, then I get to another position because I don't want to be... There's two of us, but if I'm holding that right side peak, Rengar's right behind me, we're not really working together. It's just one of us has the angle and one of us doesn't. So even though this is a left side peak, I move to this angle because I know Rengar has this angle. So now we've got both angles covered. They're not going to run down Skybridge. That would be a terrible idea. So now we're even in a more tactical advantageous position because I moved to this angle. Then he calls out, can you watch the angle while I rotate? He knows via map knowledge that he can get in here and then pop out on the other side. So once again, the communication back and forth on who's holding, where we're going to be. This is kind of one of our strengths here. And they're just in a really bad position, knowing that this door close to me, it can be unlocked. Then it connects to the other room where we end up killing all of them. And they're just kind of stuck in there. There's a lot of them. At this point, we think there's two. And we kind of know we're in a better position here. So we start to engage. Rengar pushes up, opens the door, baiting out shots from them. This is a really common PvP tactic. Open the door or run past the door. Bait some shots out so that you A, know where the other person is, but B, hope that you can catch them into a reload. And then what happens here is just kind of like a lot of back and forth. Once again, me trying to be helpful, but not get in the way of Rengar. I think this is one of the biggest things that people miss when playing with squads is figuring out, this is whether 2, 3, 4, or 5 people, figuring out how to participate in the fight without getting in the way of the fight. A lot of times it's just a group of people kind of like transferring aggro, just like you shoot while I reload, you shoot while I reload. And sometimes that works as a great method of suppression. But in these tight corners, A, team kills are really easy, but B, somebody with a high capacity mag just swinging on me and Rengar when we're both just kind of stuck up against each other, swapping aggro, means we can both die really quickly. So I'm trying to help. I know that most likely what's happening here is they're stuck in this room, and I know that you can shoot through the doors. So I don't know exactly where they are, and I am kind of wasting ammo here, but I'm trying to A, either scare them into moving into Rengar so he can get an easy kill, or picking up a quick kill on somebody that's heavy breathing and hurt while Rengar is kind of scaring them and pushing around that other corner. So the fight continues. I see Rengar. This is an interesting spot here. Once again, I'm trying to help, and the way I'm helping is I'm back away from Rengar so that if he gets hurt, he can turn around and run away. If he turns around right now, he's not going to run into me, and then that's me causing him to die. And I'm holding the angle because if they push Rengar, if Rengar gets hurt and then runs right back into this room, maybe jumps on the bed or runs in front of me, and then they push around that corner to chase Rengar because they know they have him low, I've got the angle. So once again, I'm in a position to support him with my movement by not being in his way, and with my aim by pre-aiming on where I think they are. And then kind of same thing happens again. I hear Rengar engaging them. I hear them hurt. I try to clean up the quick kill again. Now, the thing with me here is I only have 3 mags. They're 20 round mags, and now 2 of them are empty. So I could have spent this time trying to top off a mag, but instead I just kind of have my 1 remaining mag. That gets me in a little bit of trouble later. But then as we see, the big thing that happens here, the big thing that they did well was the heal bait. So we weren't sure how many there are. We still thought there was 2. Rengar said that he called that he killed 1. So there's 1 more. We hear that person initiate the heal. Rengar goes right in for the kill because that's a really easy, clean way to kill somebody, is just when they're wrapping their arm with a Salua, and boom, Rengar falls over dead. This guy knew what was going to happen. The guy called he was going to heal, and then the other guy was holding that right side angle there, and that guy was positioned well to just take out Rengar. I just kind of push in because I'm trying to figure out what happened, and I see this guy. This guy pushes out into me, into the barrel of my gun. I got really lucky there, and then I see the guy who's healing. So now I see that there's 2. I only have 20 round mags, so I run out of ammo. I see that I killed the first guy, and I need to get out of there because now my thorax is heavy bleeding and low on HP. And I only had the 1 mag available, and I just dumped it. So I need to back up and reload and top off some mags here. And I spent a lot of time doing that. And this ends up being, once again, the biggest downfall of this team here, is that in all that time that I spent repacking 2 or 3 magazines, he stays on his buddy's body. I hear him on wood. I hear him messing with his gun. He had so many opportunities to come out this hallway and even just transition to another room. If he had transitioned to this room holding where I was here and been really quiet, he might have picked up an easy kill on me. He could have ran downstairs. He could have run across Skybridge. He could have dropped down the hole right here. He could have just even moved to a different room just to confuse me, but he ended up holding the exact same place. He could have even jumped off the balcony. He ends up on his buddy's body in the same place. That gives me the opportunity to heal up, toss my armor for insurance fraud, repack my mags, and then re-engage this fight on my terms. I get a good nade in, clear the room. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be in this room with that nade that blew up. I'm clearing it anyway. I hear him in here. We do a weird game of flashlight. I don't know what he was doing, but I ended up just trying to match him there. And then once again, similar to what we did before, trying to bait out shots, causing somebody to go into a reload. So I use my audio to kind of bait him out here. I run up to the corner and then immediately go right back in. I even turn on the flashlight there. We see those tracers flying. He starts dumping, and then I hear him go for what I thought was a reload, but ended up, I think, just being a gun switch. But then, boom, I'm able to just kind of strafe across here. And as you can see, another thing I do is strafe all the way across into this, because if I hadn't killed him right there, he wouldn't be able to see me, and I could potentially turn my gun to the left and pre-fire this, anticipating a push. It's not a great position for me to be in right here, but I wanted to keep my movement up and just point fire across. But this definitely wasn't one of the cleanest kills ever. I was lucky enough to catch him in a rotation, so he was in a full sprint. He had to stop moving and then try to acquire target on me, and I'm able to kind of finish him off right there. So a lot of little stuff went into this fight. This team had some really good moves and had some good opportunities. They had the heal bait that took out Rengar. If they had been a little bit more set up for me, because by now they would have had to know that there was two of us, because me shooting through the door and stuff like that. If that guy had held that angle and had been a little bit more set up for me, he could have taken me out. Or the third guy should have absolutely repositioned, even potentially earlier in this fight while me and Rengar are playing with these guys. They could have one of them jumped off the balcony and gone for a flank. There's not a lot of good plays for them right here during this part of the fight when we're just like full on aggroing them. But definitely when I had fallen back and I took so much time to kind of reset myself, this guy should have absolutely moved away. So I hope this fight kind of broke down what some of those close encounter squad v squad battles can look like. I was really, even though there wasn't a whole lot me and Rengar were talking about, I was really proud about how we had set that up. This is one of those things where I play as a squad, as a duo a lot, and I was able to just kind of like keep these things top of mind, get out of his way, support him with some additional aggro, and that stuff really goes a long way in winning these squad fights, especially since the winner is really the winner for everybody. If that guy killed me, he would have been able to ditch all of his buddy's stuff and then taken all of me and Rengar's stuff. But because I came out on top, I was able to ditch Rengar's stuff. He got it all back in insurance, and then I got to take all that stuff. So even just one person in your squad surviving can be a win for everybody. And those little things, communication, where you're positioned, really, really make a big difference. And then a huge thing of what not to do and what to work on is don't get your whole three-man backed into a corner like that. That's a really, really tough position to be in and a really tough position to get out of. And then B, when you are backed into a corner and you see an opportunity to move out or be aggressive, take it. That's another thing we didn't really talk about. If these guys had been a little bit more aggressive and swinging on us, it's dangerous, of course, but you don't have many options when you're so backed into a corner like that. So all in all, I hope breaking down fights like this helps you out. I hope that there's something that you can pull from this and apply to your squad. Squad play can be extremely, extremely dangerous, but these situations, close quarters combat like this, are where squads can fall apart easily. So I really, really hope that this helped. If you like this video, think about dropping a like, commenting down below, or subscribing to the channel for more content like this. I stream Escape from Tarkov all the time on Twitch. All my links will be down below. I'd love to have you stop by and say hey. And if you're looking for people to play Tarkov with, our Discord server is an awesome place to be. That link is down below as well. Thank you again for stopping by, and I will definitely see y'all on the next one.